I finally did work out a very good relationship with my father, but it was rough growing up. We had a lot of conflict, and I think it surfaced in many of my works. I've had a good relationship, with MTV for a long time, and I'd like to maintain that. I don't think guys inherently don't want to clean. I think the roles are most definitely changing, but I think in a good relationship, it's never been defined as, a lady does this and a guy does this. I think, in most working, healthy relationships, everybody does a little bit of everything. You know when you have a good relationship with someone when you are just perfectly happy to be quiet and just hang out and do nothing. Having two teams with the same engine and being used to being really close to each other, which is the case with Red Bull and Toro Rosso, I think we can do a big step forward if we work together and there's a good relationship between the teams. My parents had a great marriage. Interestingly, it made it harder for me in relationships because I knew what a good relationship looked like. Hank Paulson, obviously, had spent his career on Wall Street, had a deep knowledge of the street, and also was a very forceful personality, had a very good relationship with the president, and was in a very different place, for example, than Ben Bernanke, who is an academic, quiet guy, spent most of his time thinking about monetary policy. I left in Liverpool a lot of friends. I have a very good relationship with all of them. I spent 8 years with Berlusconi, and I still have a good relationship with him. I have always had a good relationship with Real Madrid fans, and I feel dear to them. I have a really good relationship with Focus Features. We had a wonderful time working together on Sin Nombre. The problem we have in the WTA circuit is that the girls do not have a good relationship because we play against each other, and it's a sport. That's the sign of a good relationship, when you can pick up a phone and it doesn't matter when the last time you spoke was. I like the idea that people who see Gone Girl are possibly going to come out with incredibly different reactions to it, not just between men and women. But if you are in a good relationship or a bad relationship, everyone is going to bring their own bundle of prejudices and viewpoints and experiences to it. I love Dodge. I've had a good relationship with these guys. Clearly, the Chinese know that we want a good relationship with them. While I have always had a good relationship with my father, much of the time it has been a very limited relationship until I was older. So you can't really give him credit or blame for how I turned out. We have a good relationship, but she is completely different than me. My sister, she is not sporty at all. I think a good relationship is about collaboration. Business colleagues who have not seen each other for a long time but who have a good relationship can always shake hands warmly and grab each other's right upper arm or shoulder with their free left hand. Men and women executives should not kiss each other in public. Distance is a bad excuse for not having a good relationship with somebody. It's the determination to keep it going or let it fall by the wayside. That's the real reason that the relationships continue. I'm not talking about what you hear from 5% of the population on the radio, in the papers. I don't pay attention to it. I travel around the country. I'm happy I have a good relationship with the people. I'm very interested in Pooh. We don't have a very good relationship with Pooh, and we should have. If you love somebody, you love them. My parents had a 25-year age gap between them and my mom was the breadwinner, my dad the house husband. I'm a strong believer that a good relationship can work, whatever the situation. But John Landis wrote a good relationship, which is really what the film's about. A very straightforward young woman who's very sure of herself and she meets a young man who needs some taking care of. I have a good relationship with Lifetime. In any solid, good relationship, it takes a while to trust someone. I think that the United States and the Philippines have always had a good relationship with each other. We were colonized by the Americans and we have their culture and our traditions even up to this day, and I think that we're very welcoming with the Americans. And I don't see any problem with that at all. What's very important is that we build a space that matters in the world, one that operates according to democratic rules, and that small and large countries enjoy a good relationship. My father and I have a very good relationship. We always got along, but I always scold him. My mom drives me crazy sometimes, but I have a good relationship with her. I feel that the critic and music director should have such a good relationship they can pick up the phone and call each other any time. I have a good relationship with the Albanian fans. But when you are called a traitor, that is such a harsh word. Most of the Albanian fans respect me. But traitor is unacceptable considering the background of my family. When a mother quarrels with a daughter, she has a double dose of unhappiness, hers from the conflict, and empathy with her daughters from the conflict with her. Throughout her life, a mother retains this special need to maintain a good relationship with her daughter. I have a very good relationship with my peers both on and off the pitch. If you play a real character who's famous and still alive, it makes things easier if you have the luck to have a good relationship with them. I have a good relationship with Mandela, but I am not Mandela's product. I am the product of the masses of my country and the product of my enemy. I think Canadians have always been interested in the choices Americans make because the choices you make inevitably impact upon us. And how we make sure that we get that balance right between continuing to have a good relationship and standing for the things we believe in is what we expect of ourselves. I've always maintained a good relationship with Simon Cowell, and obviously I have a great respect for him, and his show provided me with a platform to reach a lot of people, so I have the utmost respect for Simon Cowell. My father was a professor of folklore, and my mother was a teacher until she was married. I had a good relationship with them, and the only argument we had was when I went to university and wanted to go into the theater instead of studying to be a lawyer. I wanted a good relationship with my mother, and I realized I had a choice. Either I could spend all my time angry that she didn't give me the hugs I thought I needed, or I could understand that she hugs differently. It's not a spread open the arms, come here, hug. She hugs by sheltering me from her worries. But you know, I have a pretty good relationship with the press and the paparazzi. It's just when they step over the line that, you know, enough's enough. Laughter is an important part of a good relationship. It's an immense achievement when you can move from your thinking that your partner is merely an idiot to thinking that they are that wonderfully complex thing, called a lovable idiot. And often that means having a little bit of a sense of humor about their flaws. I think film and television, particularly film, you are very isolated as a writer. If you're lucky, you have a good relationship with the director. Then you do make that development and come on set and be part of something. But ultimately, your work is kind of done by the time you come on set. It would be nice if I did have a good relationship with my family, and yes, part of me longs to have a mom and dad who love and accept me for who I am. But if they never do, it's okay. It's very important to have a good relationship with the crew and cast because you want to get the best out of them. They'll work really hard for you if they like you. Diana and I had a very good relationship with no personal problems. The only problem we did have was with the media, and the only place we could have any real privacy was at Kensington Palace, as they could not get to us there. I have a good relationship with the world, but I don't know what the trick is to maintaining it. Regardless of some disagreements in the past with Dr. Kissinger, I personally had a very good relationship with the secretary when I served as ambassador to the United States and later on as premier. My father and I had a good relationship. It was very relaxed. He had a lot of humor. He looked a little bit like me, although he had no beard. He had the appearance of a very elegant British-looking man. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.